The Great Astronauts of the World. Part 1. The great astronauts of the world have played a vital role in advancing human space exploration. From the first steps in orbit to long-duration missions aboard space stations, their achievements span decades of discovery. These pioneers come from many nations, showcasing the power of global cooperation. Their bravery, dedication, and legacy continue to inspire the dream of reaching beyond the stars. 1. Yuri Alexeyevich Gagarin, 1934–1968. Yuri Gagarin was a Soviet pilot and cosmonaut who became the first human to journey into outer space in 1961 aboard Vostok 1. His historic flight lasted 108 minutes and marked a major milestone in the space race. Gagarin remains a global icon of space exploration. 2. Alan Bartlett Shepard Jr., 1923–1998. Alan Shepard was the first American in space, flying aboard Freedom 7 in 1961. He later commanded Apollo 14 and became the fifth person to walk on the moon. His contributions were vital to NASA's early manned missions. 3. Walter Marty Schirra Jr., 1923–2007. Wally Schirra was the only astronaut to fly in the Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo programs. He played a key role in spaceflight development and was commander of Apollo 7, the first crewed Apollo mission. His calm demeanor made him a reliable figure in space missions. 4. Virgil Ivan Gus Grissom, 1926–1967. Gus Grissom was the second American in space and commanded the first Gemini mission. Tragically, he died in the Apollo 1 fire during a pre-launch test in 1967. He is remembered as a pioneering astronaut and dedicated test pilot. 5. Anousheh Ansari, 1966. Anousheh Ansari became the first Iranian American in space and the first self-funded woman to fly to the IS in 2006. She is also a successful tech entrepreneur and advocate for science education. Her journey inspired many across the globe. 6. Barbara Rading Morgan, 1951. Barbara Morgan was the backup to teacher astronaut Krista McAuliffe and later flew on the STS-118 shuttle mission in 2007. She was the first educator to travel to space. Morgan dedicated her career to space and science education. 7. Valentina Vladimirovna Tereshkova, 1937. Valentina Tereshkova was the first woman in space, flying solo aboard Vostok 6 in 1963. Her flight lasted almost 3 days. She became a national hero and remains a symbol of women's achievements in science. 8. Tracy Caldwell Dyson, 1969. Tracy Caldwell Dyson is a NASA astronaut and chemist who has flown on the Space Shuttle and served on the IS. She performed spacewalks and contributed to scientific research aboard the station. Her expertise bridges science and exploration. 9. Buzz Aldrin, 1930. Buzz Aldrin was the second human to walk on the moon during the Apollo 11 mission in 1969. A former fighter pilot and engineer, he played a key role in lunar navigation. Aldrin remains an outspoken advocate for space exploration. 10. Catherine Grace, K.D. Coleman, 1960. K.D. Coleman is a chemist and retired astronaut who flew on 2 space shuttle missions and a long-duration IS expedition. She brought her flute to space, performing live from orbit. She promotes science and the arts in STEM outreach. 11. Sunita Lynn, Suni, Williams, 1965. Sunita Williams is a NASA astronaut and U.S. Navy officer who has spent over 300 days in space. She held records for the most spacewalk time by a woman and commanded the IS. Williams is also set to fly on the Starliner spacecraft. 12. Sharon Krista McAuliffe, 1948–1986. Krista McAuliffe was a teacher selected to become the first civilian in space. She tragically died in the Challenger disaster in 1986. Her legacy lives on through education initiatives and the Teacher in Space project. 13. Charles Pete Conrad Jr., 1930–1999. Pete Conrad was the third man to walk on the moon as commander of Apollo 12. He also flew in Gemini and Skylab missions. Known for his humor and skill, he was a key figure in NASA's early spaceflight era. 14. Chris Hadfield, 1959. Chris Hadfield is a Canadian astronaut known for his command of the IS and viral videos from space. He was the first Canadian to walk in space. His communication efforts have made space science more relatable to the public. 15. Shannon Matilda Wells Lucid, 1943. Shannon Lucid is a biochemist and former astronaut who spent over 188 days on the Russian Mir space station. She held the record for the longest US spaceflight by a woman at the time. Lucid contributed greatly to international space cooperation. 16. Sandra Hall Magnus, 1964. Sandra Magnus is an engineer and astronaut who flew on 2 shuttle missions and lived aboard the IS. She later became executive director of the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics. Her work spans science, policy, and spaceflight. 17. Edwin Jacob, Jake Gahn, 1932. Jake Gahn was a U.S. Senator who flew aboard Space Shuttle Discovery in 1985, becoming the first sitting member of Congress in space. His flight aimed to help evaluate the effects of space travel. Gahn was known for advocating space policy. 18. Eileen Marie Collins, 1956. Eileen Collins was the first female shuttle pilot and later the first woman to command a space mission. She flew 4 shuttle missions, including the return to flight after Columbia. Collins is a trailblazer in military aviation and space. 19. Sally Kristen Ride, 1951 to 2012. Sally Ride became the first American woman in space aboard Challenger in 1983. She was also a physicist and educator who promoted STEM for girls. Ride remains a pioneering figure in space and education. 20. Ronald Irwin McNair, 1950 to 1986. Ronald McNair was a physicist and NASA astronaut who flew on STS-41B and died in the Challenger disaster. He was the second African American in space. His story continues to inspire through scholarships and memorials in his name. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. G. Sobhanadri Rao.